What's going on, everybody? Oh, welcome back. Y'all, I had to push back the time a little bit um in between eating, but we're here for it. It is Scientology Sunday. Okay. And we have a couple things that we're gonna get to quickly. This isn't going to be a long live because I did put up a post. I don't know if you guys caught it on whether or not you all wanted me to react to, oh Lord, Candice going in on Donald Trump. We should call the man gay or something. Who knows? But she did an episode, sun never sets on the Epstein Empire, whatever. So if you guys want me to check that out, we can do that later on. But I still have another live scheduled to go over Louis Lacey's FBI plea deal, former police chief up in Dalton that was like the flunky for Tiffany Henyard. Yep, got one more to do. Those FBI plea deals are fun to read. So you guys let me know. In the meantime, if y'all want me to go over the Candice Owens episode she did about Donald Trump, I guess she won't be voting for him. Whatever. She's mad because he told Erica Kirk to sue her ass. Candice, you know she's gonna sue you either way for defamation. Like, you can't make this stuff up. So in the meantime, we have a couple videos we're gonna check out for Scientology Sunday. First, starting with kids being auditors. Y'all, this is from Growing Up Scientology. The only way. And Aaron has a fantastic YouTube channel where he also goes out and protests, Scientology. He was in Scientology, of course, he left. And so he has the YouTube channel Growing Up in Scientology. So make sure you guys go check him out. And Jenna Miscavage, the niece of the current leader of Scientology, also has a YouTube channel. I do believe that they're in a relationship now. So Aaron and Jenna Miscavige, I think, are dating. But they both have their own respective channels, and they give their own respective, experiences of having been in Scientology, which is a cult. And it's refreshing to hear even Jenna Miscavige refer to Scientology as a cult, because it is a cult. And her uncle is the leader. And so they have talked about kids being used as auditors, children. And in Scientology, the belief is they don't see children as children. They just see them as like small human beings, like small adults. But yet they won't let the kids do what they want to do either. And that's the problem with cults. You can't do what you want to do. So if you're a child and you're being treated as an adult, you don't get to make adult decisions or anything. That's the matter of the control that they have on you, right? And it's disturbing to see that kids are having their, childhood yanked away from them, where they can't be kids. They can't talk to each other. There's no playground or anything on their compound. There's no childhood for them. They're raising babies. They discard children and babies like small adults that should be able to just do for themselves. It's deplorable and disgusting. And yet, somehow Scientology believes that it should be taking over our US government. No. This is where the US government needs to start fighting back. So, shout out to Aaron and for posting up this video that I wanted to check out here, because this is highlighting the severity of the situation and the depravity that's going on in, all these cults where they take advantage of children. And here Scientology is being a prime example of that, where they take advantage of kids and using these kids as auditors. And these auditors are supposed to be the ones to kind of tell you when you're wrong or stepping out of line. Well, how does a child get to sit here and make these types of decisions like this. Like, why put that burden on the child? So we're gonna check this out. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hit that like button as you coming in. And let's get to it. Y'all hit the 4 when you can see and hear. Let's go.
The only way to really comprehend what I'm talking about is to do it or see it. So let me make it graphic with the following video. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Now, what I want you to do is coach a student auditor on how to properly handle an ARC break rudiment, okay?
Yes, sir.
Good. From this pack, read him the questions that are written in black. The correct answer is printed in red right beneath that. If he gives you the right answer, acknowledge him and go to the next question. If the answer is wrong, you flunk him and have him study the LRH reference, which is given right below the answer.
Okay.
Once he's cleared up his misunderstoods, carry on with the drilling from the point he flunked. Keep going through the drills until he can answer every question correctly in the entire pack, all the way through without a flunk.
Okay.
When he does that, give him a pass. Got it?
Yes.
Very good.
So, what are we going to do today?
Don't worry about a thing. Just please be seated and we'll start.
Sure.
Ready to start?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Start of drill. You start a session as first action, check the RC break root and reach at the fall. What do you do?
Take up the rudiment.
Good. The PC answers yes. He does have an ARC break. What do you do?
Get the data on it briefly.
Good. The PC tells about the ARC break. What do you do?
Find out by assessment which point the ARC break occurred on.
Good. What do you say?
Was that a break in affinity, reality, communication, understanding?
Good. The assessment reads on communication with the fall. What do you do?
Check it with the PC.
Good. The PC replies that he feels this is a break in ARC, not a break in communication, and does not understand why this assessment is being done. What do you do?
I would indicate it was a break in ARC.
Flunk! The correct answer is clear the ARC break assessment procedure with the PC so he understands it.
What did she say? Did she say the F word? Did this girl just drop the F-bomb? Oh, she said flunk. Oh my God. Y'all see how weird this is? This young child, a little girl at that, is sitting across the table from this grown-ass man as if she is his equal. Now, when you put purpose in front of children like this and they have an affinity for kids and they're looking at these kids as their equals, what's the chances that these adults attempted to sit here and do something to these kids? This is disgusting. This child is sitting here counseling a grown-ass man on something. And because in Scientology, they don't see you as children, she's going to be seen as this man's equal. You can't make this up. And what's to stop him or any other perpetrator from taking advantage of this opportunity with a little girl that looks like she's all of 9 years old? Y'all, this is the disturbing nature of these cults. Not just Scientology, cults. Malachi York was a cult leader who messed with kids as young as 5 years old. And he's spending over 100 years in prison for it. And he had dozens and dozens of victims, including his own children. This is the depraved behavior that goes on in cults.
The correct answer is clear the ARC break assessment procedure with the PC so he understands it. Here's a reference.
The coach ensures the student restudies the reference, clearing his misunderstoods until he fully understands it. Then they begin again at the question he flunked and carry forward with the drill.
Restart drill. The PC replies.
And all of this for what now? What is this information going to, how does this information improve your life? What are we doing this for? This is so crazy. What is this information regarding? All I'm seeing is an arc. What's going on, Juju, Francisca, Caleb? How y'all doing? Melinda? Anyone seen or heard from Kyla? Hope she's doing all right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Shout out to my mods. I appreciate you, Francisca, honey. Is this supposed to be a demo or how-to video? I have no idea. I don't know what this information is pertaining to and how it would enrich anybody. Children being used as auditors. This is so crazy. Caleb said, why is he using misunderstood as a noun? English has the word misunderstanding. Exactly. You know, reading is not fundamental for cults. They don't read. And then in the stuff that they're reading, what is this relevant to? Y'all, this is so crazy. They put them with pedos as well. Exactly. This man could be a whole pedo. But because Scientology looks at children as small adults, he wouldn't see this as a child. He would just see this as a young woman. Look how she's dressed and sitting and acting like they're equals. So it takes away the aspect of him understanding I'm sitting across the table from an 8-year-old little girl. She's scolding him about something. Like husband and wives having an argument. It is disturbing and gross.
He feels this is a break in ARC, not a break in communication, and does not understand why this assessment is being done. What do you do?
Clear the ARC break assessment procedure with the PC so he understands it.
Very good. After clearing up the action of ARC break assessment, the PC says that he gets how this works, but is not totally sure.
They continue with the drill, page after page, with the coach asking questions from the drill pack and making sure the students' answers are correct. On each flunk, they clear up any misunderstoods to ensure the auditor fully understands the LRH reference. They carry on doing this over and over again until he can do it all the way through the pack, from start to finish, with no flunks.
With no flunks.
Everything that could possibly happen while running an ARC break is covered, from the most fundamental to the most difficult.
You asked for an earlier similar ARC break. The PC says no and the question does not read. You check if there's any more to his last answer and he says no. You put in the suppress button on the earlier similar question and it does not read. You check and validate, no read. Then you check careful, fail to reveal anxious about and protest, no reads. Then you check not is, abandoned and misunderstood, no reads. You check for a bypass effect that didn't read. You check for a session miswithhold and no read. What do?
You direct the PC's attention to a charged area from the last ARC break that was run and find out if there's anything more on that area.
Cool. Pass.
Yes.
This is so disturbing. All of this and for what? Because this man cannot go out into the real world and get a regular job. They're going to say, what's your training and education? Yeah, I got quizzed to death by a 7-year-old. Y'all, this is disgusting. And they took this shit up. Oh my God. You can't make this up. Oh, that's so disturbing. That was so disturbing. Yeah, this is how they train children to become auditors. The next video we have here was sent to me in the email one of y'all sent on Mark Bunker speaking on Scientology's plan to take over Clearwater. And we've discussed this in our previous videos. You guys can check out the Scientology playlist in the LLC. They have purchased buildings for the Lolo. They have ran out business owners. They have prevented others from being able to open up businesses by holding up permits and licenses in Clearwater. It's like they want to take control of it. They don't want it to thrive or grow or anything. And we've watched in previous videos on Scientology how business owners had to, in the news, go to the news because they had permits that were being held because Scientology was objecting to them opening up restaurants all because they were serving alcohol or beer. Like they get to control and dictate other people's businesses. They don't. But they want people's money though. It's funny how they want US dollars and they want you to pay for training and auditing with US dollars, but they don't want people to actually generate revenue by having a business in Clearwater, Florida, as if they own it. So he goes over their furthered intentions to take over the city because they've already been doing that. And when Candace said, it's so difficult for Scientology to take over a state, she's still an idiot and she has not read or watched anything. They do that by taking over the property, by preventing businesses from thriving and opening, and then by, taking elected positions or bribing elected officials and basically coercing or bribing them to not give business licenses to other people, not allowing other properties to be purchased by someone else. So we all know Candace is not that smart, but she certainly has no idea of what Scientology is truly trying to do in Clearwater by taking over. They just underestimate the power of our military. And somehow the United States government refuses to remind them of it. We can have, some Navy ships come up in your harbor. Keep playing with us. That should be the sentiment. We have armies. That's it. So if the U.S. government wanted to put a stop to this, they could. Remind them that there are more of us than there are of you. You don't have to be here in the U.S. with your dumb coat. This is what we are now. So Mark Bunker speaks on this, and this is something people need to understand what's going on and pay attention to. And I speak about cult of personality and cult-like behavior on social media because it's so easy to get caught up into one or two people and to be drafted into this cult mentality, to have this hive mentality where you can't think outside the box. And if you do, you're ostracized. You're shadow banned. If you're not saying something someone likes, they file a false copyright strike. God. If you're not saying what they want you to say, then they're out harassing and doxing you. It's this cult-like mentality that people need to be cautious and wary of. And when you have cults like Scientology that have celebrities and people with money pouring into it, they can take that money and purchase properties and take over. And it will not be hard for them. And they won't lose a second of sleep. Child, hit the phone when you can see and hear. Let's get to it.
Should be hopping. This should be the place filled with life. And unfortunately, because of Scientology, is dead.
Yep.
I'm Mark Bunker, and I have been an active critic of Scientology for 27 years now. And in 2000, I moved here to Clearwater, Florida to be part of the Lisa McPherson Trust and to help folks who have been abused and defrauded by Scientology. Lisa McPherson was a devout Scientologist who had been in for 15 years, and she was starting to have some doubts. She had contacted a friend back in Texas saying that she wanted to come home and that she was interested in leaving Scientology. Before she had a chance to do that, though, she was involved in a little minor car accident. And by the time that the paramedics arrived on the scene, Lisa had stripped off all of her clothing and was walking down the street naked. And the female attendant said to her, "Why are you doing this?" And Lisa said, "Because I need somebody to pay attention to me. I need help." And they took her over to the Morton Client Hospital, which is just a few blocks away from the Fort Harrison Hotel, which is the property that Scientology owns. And within an hour, 10 Scientologists showed up at the hospital and convinced her to check herself out of the hospital against the doctor's wishes. But the Scientologist told the doctor that they would take care of her. And Lisa went back with them to the Fort Harrison Hotel, the property that Scientology owns. And she was locked up there for 17 days. And in that time, she lost 40 pounds and died. It was a horrible mistreatment of this woman who needed some actual care. Instead of psychiatric care that she might have gotten from the hospital, she was put on what L. Ron Hubbard called the introspection rundown, or Baby Watch, which is his quack theories about how to handle a psychotic break. And it was brutal. It was a nightmare for her. And every day her condition worsened. There were people who were caretakers for her that would be watching over her. Many of them didn't even speak English. And part of the introspection rundown is you do not talk to somebody who's having a psychotic break. So she would be talking to them and they would stay silent. And you could see her condition worsening and worsening through the caretaker logs that these people were writing down each day. She would be barking. She would think that she was L. Ron Hubbard. She was smearing her feces on the wall. And by that 17th day, her condition was so bad that they took her to a hospital, but they didn't call an ambulance. They bundled her into a van and they drove her not a couple of blocks away to the Morton Plant Hospital. There were a number of other hospitals between where here and where they wound up taking her. But they drove her 45 minutes away to a hospital where a Scientologist doctor was on call. And by the time they arrived there, Lisa was dead. And this doctor, Dr. Minkoff, lost his license for a year.
Crazy.
And is in trouble again right now for another death in Scientology of a woman under his care. And it's a sad...
When they could have just let her go. I mean, here's the thing. They could have let her go. They could have let her out of Scientology. But here lies the behavior of these dumbass evil cults. It's the control factor. They couldn't control her mentally or emotionally. She wanted to leave, so they forcefully controlled her physically, which caused her physical and mental health to deteriorate and erode. She lost 40 pounds. She just they weren't feeding her and giving her water. When they could have just let her go. Too easy to just let them go and leave them alone. We're talking about a cult where David Miscavage had his own father followed and stalked for years. That's the type of dumb cult we're talking about here. As opposed to him leaving people the hell alone. No, it's stalking. Put money and time and energy into stalking somebody. That money that could have been used for anything else. No, he spent it on having people spy on his father and stalk his father. Disgusting.
And tragic end for Lisa and for Whitney Mills, who's the other woman who recently died here in Clearwater. Unnecessary deaths because of L. Ron Hubbard's nonsense, his quackery. So in 2000, we opened up a small group called the Lisa McPherson Trust. It was put together by a retired international banker named Bob Minton. And he gathered, I think 4 of us initially to move down here to Clearwater and open an office right next door to Scientology's Office of Special Affairs, which is the dirty tricks department in Scientology. We wanted to show that we weren't afraid of them. And we tried over the course of the 2 years that we were open to make a difference. By the end of it, they had put so much pressure legally on the Lisa McPherson Trust and specifically on Bob that he had to cry uncle. And the LMT was disbanded at the end of 2001. I moved away to San Diego and started a career in TV news there. Worked there for 10 years. And then decided to come back here to Clearwater to see if I could make a difference. And I eventually ran for office and was on the city council. They have frightened away people from coming down here. Ever since they snuck into town in 1975, this downtown has been dead. L. Ron Hubbard ran Scientology from a ship at sea for 10 years. As he was driven out of the USA in, I think 1963, and he went to the UK and was running things from St. Hill then for a few years. And then it got too hot for him in the UK, and he bought a ship, and they ran the sea organization at sea. And eventually, after 10 years of that, he got tired of living at sea and wanted to come back to land. They wound up coming here to Clearwater because there was property that they could purchase to run the organization. And yeah, kind of frankly, the word clear in Clearwater was pretty enticing too. It wasn't the deciding factor, but unfortunately for the citizens of Clearwater, it was a tragic thing to happen. I mean, we have never recovered from Scientology. Their financial impact is enormous. They have stopped all businesses that were down here. They were all chased out. And since 2017, the current leader of Scientology, David Miscavage, started a secret plan to buy up all the available property downtown and just sit on it and leave it empty for, 8 years now? Something like that? Thwarting any attempts that we have made as a city to revive the downtown. We have a historic theater, the Capitol Theater, right behind us here, right across from where Tom Cruise lives, which has live performances. So that's brought a little life back to the downtown. There are a handful of restaurants that have been able to survive on one block, but for the most part, it's empty buildings, purposely kept that way now. And it's a shame. One thing that the city did while I was on the council to fight back, we spent $85 million to revamp this beautiful park, Coachman Park. And we added a large amphitheater, outdoor amphitheater for more music performances. And when we have a performance here, tens of thousands of people do come downtown. And it is great to see life here. But as soon as that's over, it becomes dead again. It's been an incredible challenge.
Yeah, because everything Scientology touches dies, I guess. This dumb cult does not want the city of Clearwater to actually thrive. Can you believe it? They want people to give them money, but they don't want revenue flowing in the city where they have their whole cult compound located. Why would they stop money from flowing into the city in that area if it means that they could get more US dollars? If they don't believe in our, legal system, they don't care about our justice system, they don't care about our laws, they don't fully believe in our financial system when it comes to paying people, because, David Miscavige is not missing a meal. But when it comes to anything else, all of a sudden, our money is so beneath them. Why do they keep asking for it? Just like with Umar, he should be paid in cucumbers and carrots and cabbage. Why give him US dollars? For what? They don't believe in God. They don't believe in heaven, hell, or nothing. They believe in Thetans and, your soul being trapped in something from a volcano and Xenu, the princess, boy, girl, warrior. Okay, so you should not want our US dollars either. Create your own little currency. Why not take this cult compound to another country? Why sit here and actively hinder growth and activity in the United States of America? Leave the country and go somewhere else where you can have it dead and you can get all the property you want in another country. That's my whole question. I would not want them to take children. But why sit here and hinder growth from happening in this country? If you don't like it, then leave the country and take your cult and your compound to another country. Go buy some land in another country. Go to South America. You ain't got to worry about the weather. And then you can buy some land and start your whole cult down there. Why is that so difficult for these cult leaders to do? They can buy a whole island. I know, right? They can buy a whole island. Listen, go to Antarctica. Or to whatever the islands out there around the Ring of Fire. Y'all, the Ring of Fire with the underwater volcanoes. It's a whole ring of islands. They can buy one of those. Since move their whole compound to any of those islands around the Ring of Fire. Good luck to them. Leave the United States of America out your bullshit cult. Get the hell out of our country. And then you can do your own thing in your country. Create your own currency. Instead of like US money and dollars, they trade in peanuts and coconut oil. Whatever. They do whatever they want to do. Do whatever they want to do in their own island, on their own land, not ours. And leave the United States of America out your dumbass cult. Why is that so hard for David Miscavige to understand? You want to be a cult leader? Take that shit somewhere else. Leave our country and go on somewhere. Stop trying to take over the U.S. Go start your own nation. Let's see how smart you really are. You start your own nation. We ready to evict his ass. Hit the floor if you're ready for David Miscavage to be deported. His ass deported and evicted from the United States of America. I think David Miscavige needs to take all this money that John Travolta and Kirsten Allen and all these celebrities have given him. Go buy an island that does not belong to the U.S. You create your own little currency, your own rules, create your own compound on your own island, and go far, far away from us and leave the United States of America alone. We don't need you here. You can't make this stuff up. Take your people with you. Take all your cult members with you. Take all the Thetans. Whatever Xenu warrior, goddess, princess, boy, girl, princess that landed in that volcano, take Xenu the warrior with you. Take your Thetans, your auditors, take everything with you and get the hell out of our country. Go buy your own island. Start your own community. Create your own currency, your own level of government in your own country on your own island. Get out. These dumbass cults want to sit here and try to take over the U.S. For what? Go start your own nation. You can't make this up. You ain't get mad when we don't want them here. We don't need no cults here. Thinking they're bigger and badder than the United States Marines and Navy and the Air Force and the Army. We have whole militaries. If we needed to take that compound down, we could. Do you think they would be better off on their own? Go grow your own food, build your own homes. Y'all don't have to worry about anybody buying property on your island that you own. Get out. What the hell wrong with these people? Y'all, I'm ready to evict David Miscavige. He needs to be deported. Him and all of Scientology, all the celebrities, they can go with him. Go buy one of those islands around the Ring of Fire. All y'all get the hell out, and then y'all can start your own commune and you keep your cult going somewhere else. Leave the rest of us out of that. You don't have to worry about stalking nobody over here. You tend to your own island, your own people, your own cult. Bye. Goodbye. Deuces. Get the hell out. You can't make this stuff.
Dealing with this, and no city should have to put up with what Clearwater has had to face since 1975. Just a few miles down the road is Dunedin, lovely community with a very vibrant downtown. There's a Safety Harbor, just a short trip to the east of us. Incredible downtown. There's no reason that Clearwater couldn't have that vibrant downtown here on the waterfront. You can see how beautiful this setting is. By all means, this should be hopping. This should be the place filled with life. And unfortunately, because of Scientology, it's dead. People tell you they don't want to come downtown because of Scientology. And as much as we say, listen, it's safe. I've been criticizing Scientology for 27 years. I can walk down the street here. They're not kidnapping me. They're not doing anything. I go and enjoy a meal in the restaurants. It's safe for everyone. So right now, David Miscavige owns these properties, and he's trying to convince the city that he's going to be a good neighbor and put businesses into these buildings. He's been making that promise since 2017, and he hasn't come through. I doubt that he will. Time will tell. They do put plenty of pressure on the city, and they do go around, they went behind our backs. And this was really infuriating. As a council, we had approved an affordable housing project downtown here. It was in an old firehouse that Scientology wanted, desperately wanted. And we approved that project. COVID hit. And they came back to us and said, because of COVID, we're going to need a couple $1 million more for this project. And we said, you've got it. We want this to move forward. We discovered from the paper, we had a really amazing reporter working here on the Scientology beat named Tracy McManus. She uncovered that Scientology had been pressuring this developer of the affordable project so much, constant calls, trips to knock on his door and say, we want the property. We really want it. We're going to give you some money and we'll find someplace else for you. But we want it. And unfortunately, what we on the council didn't know is our new city manager had been kind of working behind the scenes to kind of ease that transition from the affordable project to something that Scientology could have. Unfortunately, it didn't work. And the developer said, listen, I just give up. I'm leaving town. And Clearwater has to decide what they want for their downtown. Sunshine laws here in Florida means that the council can only talk about something they're going to vote on in a public venue that has been noticed to the public, so they can come in and see and hear us and know what we're thinking. But Miscavage was bringing each individual council member in to give his plan. Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, you're going to love it. We're going to completely revive the downtown. That thing that we've kept dead since 1975, we're going to be the savior. He has yet to come through. You know, there's no reason to believe he's going to come through.
What you do not do is believe what a cult leader says. They lie like hell. They're narcissists and pathological liars. If he can't control it, he doesn't want it. That's why he needs to get the hell out of our country. He can go control whatever he wants somewhere else. Get the hell on. He actually thinks that David Miscavige is going to be a good neighbor and allow someone to thrive with a business. No, that's never going to happen. Because if David Miscavige is not financially benefiting from it, he could care less. The fact that they have actively prevented people from opening businesses that were around the same block as their cult compound speaks volumes. He doesn't want something to thrive, and he's not spearheading or thriving from it. He's not benefiting from it. Of course, he doesn't want a business to open up there. That's what's so crazy about this. Who would trust a cult leader that lies like hell? That man lies and grifts like he's breathing air. You don't trust a cult leader at their word. Oh, he said he would be a good neighbor and come. No, he's not. He's a liar. He's lying to you. A cult leader that lies. Go figure. Who knew? He's lying through his damn teeth. David Miscavige has no intentions of being a good anything. I don't even know if he understands the definition of the word good. Chabu. But he doesn't mind charging people for auditing sessions conducted by small children. It's so stupid. Got all these celebrities giving him millions of dollars, and someone is supposed to trust him saying he's going to be a good neighbor? Hell no. No, he's not. He's going to do whatever he can to keep you from being able to thrive. How dare you all come on this street and actually have a viable business? Oh, no. This is the narcissistic, pathological liar we're talking about, who thinks that he's God and then doesn't believe in God. You can't make this up. He thinks he's God, but he doesn't believe in the aspect of God. He's a cult leader. You don't trust that. You tell him, hey, there's an island you can go and buy where you can do what the hell you want to do, not on U.S. soil. Get your ass out of here. Go live anywhere else. And we will not bother. Listen, David Miscavige and Scientology, if y'all want to go by your own island, away from U.S. soil, on the other side of the planet, we will not stop you. Goodbye. Can't make this up. Get out.
Stabbed us in the back repeatedly whenever we have foolishly tried to work with him. We wanted to move part of the aquarium downtown. Crazy. He killed it.
Yep, wife's still
and then
missing.
He wanted to buy that property from the aquarium. And the aquarium said, no, we're not selling it to you. We're selling it to the city. That's the property that got him so enraged.
Exactly. Pour them all.
That's just one example of him stabbing us in the back. They can't be trusted. They'll give you some plans of what they're going to do. They'll agree to something and then just ignore it. Because, for instance, they wanted to put up a giant tent as they're planning to do again over there. They wanted to do that for a big IAS event here years ago. There was a beautiful tree that was there, and we told them, do not cut down that tree. We turned our backs and they cut down the tree. They said, okay, fine. they have enough money where they can say, you're gonna punish us? Okay, that's no problem. We'll just pay whatever the fine is. We're going to do what we want to do. That's their attitude. You can't stop us. Our planning department had beautiful plans for our marina district, which is right off of downtown. It's another area that we want to revive. And reading the plan that that was concocted by the city for how we want these walkable streets and how cars would be parked behind apartments, not out in public. We wanted it to be a really beautiful place. Scientology secretly bought up all that property and said, that's not what we want. We want giant condos. And this is what, and they brought in some guy from another town who apparently was being used as a shill, a front for their developments. But, the city can have one plan, and Scientology will say, well, that's too bad. Because we know what we want, and we've got the money and clout to do it.
Child, he said that's not what we want. They got the money and clout to do it. And that's why you don't trust a cult leader. This is why you don't trust a cult leader. So, y'all, shout out to Aaron. No, Ron. Y'all, he starts off his videos like that, I promise you. See?
Okay, where is Balake at?
My name is Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Man, I messed it up. Ron.
Oh, it's so funny. He starts all his videos off with that Ron clip from Key and Peele. Funny stuff. So he did a live where he showed facilities being raided. I don't know what kind of raid this is. I don't know if this is a joke, if you got somebody just ran inside the facilities with a camera and they running away from the security or what. But I wanted to see this because I'm like, how they get raided? Someone made it past. Someone made it past the front desk and was able to raid them? Are you kidding me? What's going on, Susie Q, Francisca, Albert? What's going on, all of you all? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Juju, I appreciate all of you all. Hit that like button for me. Can y'all believe this? This is something was raided. Most law enforcement are part of the code. Yeah. Yep. The police are scared to go out there to Clearwater, to their compound in Clearwater. Tommy G did a video in Clearwater and interview with a couple people about Scientology. They called the cops on him for filming outside on the sidewalk where it's public property. Because they just didn't want him filming. Nobody give a damn. Stupid ass cults sit here and think they can just control and dictate what people do. No. This is why you need your own island where you can get out of our country since you don't want to respect our rules and our laws and our rights. Get the hell out. No one will stop you. Bye. When is Scientology packing it up and moving to the island of Topangos or something? There's so many islands around the Ring of Fire you can go get. Goodbye. Go all at one time. Peace be unto you all. Okay, so I had to pull over for this. Y'all, somebody got in here. So Aaron, I don't know who this channel. I don't know if this is a channel he pulled up. I haven't seen this. I wanted to get to the part where he's talking about somebody went in and got into the facility. All right, we're gonna check this out. Hopefully it's funny.
Talk accounts. Look right above my little rectangle on the far left. That one video has 1.8 million views. Okay, Now look at the one on the far right. 34.8 million views. Look at the one right next to that. 2.8 million views. Now, to the best that I can tell, these three videos that I just pointed out to you are different angles of the same incident from different point of view because the incident involved more than one person. Let's take a look at one of these. Here we go.
Oh!
Oh, it's nice in here.
Okay, I'll leave.
Oh, they actually did.
Okay.
Y'all.
Guys, is it silly?
Oh, yes. Okay, so this is exactly what I was hoping for. This kid ran into the facility. Oh, he could have kept running, man. Oh, man. Oh, he ran in. Oh, this is something. What is this? Is this Instagram? Jaden? Oh, it got millions of views. No wonder.
TikTok accounts. Look right above my little rectangle
Yo,
on the
this
far
is
left.
crazy.
That one video has 1.8 million views. Okay, now look at the one on the far right. 34.8 million views. Look at the one right next to that.
Oh,
2.8
so good.
million views. Now, to the best that I can tell, these three videos that I just pointed out to you are different angles of the same incident from different point of view, because
Right.
the incident involved more than one person. Let's
Malachi
take a look
York and
at,
David Miscavage
at one of these. Here we go.
Yo.
Oh, it's nice in here.
Dude, he could have kept running.
Okay. Guys, is it silly, childish behavior? Absolutely. Do I love every second of it? Also,
Yes.
absolutely. Okay, let's take a look at.
Oh my God.
This is a different angle of the same.
Oh, these kids got
general
up in this
incident. We'll
building.
I'm going in.
Oh, it's nice in here.
Oh, this is epic.
They're committing mistakes. Yeah, I gotta get out.
Okay, I'll leave.
Just keep running.
Okay. So one of the Scientology Sea Org members that we saw there telling the kid that he committed a misdemeanor. That's the famous Joe Riley. Okay, he doesn't use his real name when he's out there on the mean streets of Hollywood recruiting for Scientology. He uses a couple different fake names. His name is Joe Riley, and he is the recruiter that unknowingly tried to recruit Jenna Miscavige into Scientology on Hollywood Boulevard, and then had to eat crow and get her dismissed from the facility that he had just invited her into. I'm going to show you one other view on this. Guys, notice it says you've committed a crime. You're committing a misdemeanor. Think of this for a second. This is the science.
First of all, the dude is not an attorney. Him saying you committed a misdemeanor, I would laugh at that alone. If they're going to do this, I need them to learn laws so they can look them dead in the face and say, no, I didn't. And you're not an attorney. You know, a judge would be the only one that can tell me that. Cite the statute code that I violated that makes this a misdemeanor. I'm sorry, this is not court. This is your cult compound, but this is not court.
Scientology Recruitment Center on Hollywood Boulevard. At all hours of the day, not only are the doors to that facility wide open, but Joe Riley and his fellow Scientology recruiters are out there on the sidewalk trying to convince people to come inside. Okay? How can it be a misdemeanor for someone to go into the facility? There's nothing that the sign in front of the door says all welcome. And they're out there trying to convince everyone to come inside. But the moment someone comes inside without specifically being invited, they're told they've committed a crime. This is not a crime. If you've, in my opinion, if you've already been trespassed from the facility and you come inside again, then you're committing some sort of an infraction, some sort of a crime. But I wonder what crime Joe Riley is accusing the guy of. I'm assuming it's trespassing. I don't know. Maybe it's interrupting a religious service. I've got no idea. Okay, let's watch one more angle of it. Am I sharing the right way? Yeah. Okay, here we go.
This is so epic.
Oh, it's nice in here. Now you're committing a crime. They're committing mistakes. Yeah, gotta get out.
Okay.
He's not a cop. He's not an attorney. He's not a judge. He cannot do that. He cannot just say you committed a crime, because that can be defamatory. So that guy is an idiot who does not know the law. They don't respect our laws. So why are they here again? Why are they on U.S. soil? Get out of our country. You don't care about our laws or our constitutional rights. You don't get to say someone committed a crime. You're not a judge or jury. This is not court. That's not how that works. It's so stupid. Oh my good Lord. They need to get the hell out of our country.
I'll leave. Get out.
Okay. All right. I find this type of trolling of Scientology recruiters to be amazing. I love
Yeah,
it.
it is.
You
I
know,
love
when
it.
I was fresh out of Scientology, I might have said something different. I might have had all sorts of opinions about what real activism looks like, or the only valuable way to spread the word about Scientology. I'm sure I had all sorts of opinions about the right way to do something is. Guys, I've come a long way, in my opinion, about what is valuable. And something like this that brings attention to Scientology, mocks Scientology, trolls Scientology, turns Scientology into a meme, shows people there's no reason to be afraid of Scientology. That, in my opinion, is a valuable message to put out there into the world. Turning Scientology into a...
Yeah, you don't have to be afraid. We have armies. We have Navy. We have whole militaries. We'll just take the compound down if we need to. Stop playing with us. They don't like our laws, our currency, our way of living, our religion, our faith, none of that. So they can get their asses out of our country. Take that coat BS and get out. Go buy an island and do what you want on your own island that you own, not ours. But they want to sit here and force everyone else in America to assimilate to that dumb coat. No, get out.
Joke is one of the greatest things that could be done for the young generation of the world. Turning Scientology into a joke. The memification of Scientology is something I absolutely and wholeheartedly support. Let me give you an example of, again, this is another person on TikTok reacting to these videos and explaining from their perspective why they support these type of videos, even though if it was a different context or a different scenario, they may not actually be as supportive of them. Check it out.
People running into the Scientology building and like speed running how far they... I love the videos of people running into the Scientology building and like speed running how far they can get because they are genuinely juking the shit out of the workers. And I've seen a few videos of this, but there was one POV where this dude was wearing meta glasses and he like ducked under one employee, then jumped down the stairs and like juked the shit out of another one before he actually got caught. I really feel like this is a productive use of time, right? Normally I don't like the people who harass others, but when it comes to Scientology, I'm all for it. And I just wish they would get some professional tag players to try and do this. Because could you imagine a professional tag player or someone who does parkour? They probably could make it around the entire building before getting caught. And I believe people are doing this at the Scientology building based in LA because that one especially is like super secretive. Like you're not allowed in unless you're a member, unless you're looking to join. Like it's very supposed to be like high level security that you have people just like speed running in there. If you don't know what Scientology is, you should go watch some documentaries, go read articles about it because Scientology, it's a very interesting set of beliefs. We'll put it that way. They've had serious...
It's a cult. They would not last against our United States Marine Corps. I'm so glad you said that, Ray Ray. And because they're out there near the sea. Yeah, no, they act like we can't have some Navy, Coast Guards, somebody come in from the water and port up and just come in that way, fly in. Like they're on our soil. Trying to do what they want to do here. Hell no. But this coach should have been put down a long time ago. They should not have been allowed to flourish this damn long to think that they could take over Clearwater. People have to stop being afraid and confront cults. We don't do cults. That's another form of dictatorship. We might as well be a monarchy because you got one person that thinks that they're Lord above all, like they're somebody's king or dictator. We're not doing that. The fact that they will not leave our country and go start their own, and they're not competent, smart enough to create their own currency, trade, or anything else, is a reminder that they're not very bright. Because if they were that smart, they would just leave. You know, pull one of those Jim Jones and just get the hell on. Start your own thing. No, they would rather try to infiltrate and take over. No. Nope. Oh, they wouldn't last for 5 minutes with our U.S. Marine Corps. Y'all, Cheryl, you missed it. It's going to drive you insane. What Aaron can't do in the upcoming trial, judge, is insane. Yeah, they need to, I think I saw a video title of a judge ordering him to he said, George ordered me to lie. He needs to request that the judge be recused. He needs to file a motion for recusal against that judge. You asking me to fundamentally lie? No. Judges aren't perfect now. They're not. So he needs to have that judge recused. And then go to the state Supreme Court down there in Florida, if he needs to get this judge recused off his case. That's I hope someone tells him that, he can file a motion to have that judge recused. If that judge is issuing anything in an order where it is fundamentally having him falsify information or to perjure him or incriminate himself, incrimination of himself would be a violation of his Fifth Amendment rights. So he needs to have that judge recused. Aaron, get the judge recused off your case. If they sent in Delta Force, we'd have the man behind the curtain walked it to the roof and relocated to his new home in Guantanamo Bay. Thank you. Oh, Ray, reading my mind. We have militaries. There are more of us than there are of them. David Miscavage is only one person. He can't take out our full army. It's like, what are we doing? We're letting this little measly man sit here and try to take over our U.S. city on U.S. soil when we have militaries. We have armed military forces. What are we doing? Hell no. Get your ass out, David Miscavige. Take all of Scientology with you. Go buy your own island and get the hell on. Trying to topple our government should be the last thing that the U.S. should be giving him the impression that he's doing. You got judges sitting here scared of him, police officers afraid of them. For what? There are more of us than there are of them. Get out. This judge is sitting here making Aaron lie. No. I'm going to have you recused because you tried me, and I'm not doing that. Didn't they just have a judge be sentenced to prison? Yeah, judges get recused and removed and revoked off the bench all the time. Some of these judges can be just as corrupt as these attorneys and police officers, anybody else. And you got a lot of these judges starting to pay the price for their, crimes, for their corruption. So Aaron needs to get a motion filed for the judge to be recused. And then he can take that all the way up to the Florida Supreme Court and let it be heard. This is what this judge is fundamentally asking me to do. What the hell is wrong with this judge? Child, you can't make this up. Speed running Scientology like it's a video game. Y'all, it was so funny. He made a video yesterday about it. The same judge when he was found not guilty. Yeah, I know. He got to have that judge recused. Child, the moment you see them as a religion and give them charity status, they take root like the plague. Exactly. I think that's what Albert wrote in his comment about them having that tax exempt status. And if that's what they wanted, the U.S. didn't owe them that. The IRS could have said, listen, either these are the parameters or you can get out of our country. We don't care. Throw a tantrum. Get the hell out of here. They still don't have to be here. Even with their IRS tax exempt status, they can voluntarily leave. Go buy an island. Get the hell on. Bye. We will not stop you. And then you go do what you want to do on your soil. Man, y'all, this is crazy. These kids are starting to pop. Look, they starting to get bold with it. Caleb speed races. You forget that some of the military high-ups could be members of the cult or in their pockets too. Oh, yeah, they can go to. I think the number of people who are not in the Scientology cult outweigh the people that are. But yes, that's a good point, Francisca. They've infiltrated on so many levels, from law enforcement to the judicial branch to military, elected positions, in Congress, legislative branch. They've infiltrated everywhere. But at the end of the day, if they need to, okay, we're gonna go ahead and just take down these compounds because they think they get to do what they want to do. Now, can we get some military forces down there in Clearwater? Like, if it comes down to that, there's nothing they will be able to do to stop them. And then those who have deflected or go out their way to try to sit here and betray their own country for a dumb coat, they're going to go down with them. Child. I think it's high time for people to start really hammering in on how little to no power they should have. They should not be this powerful. And if they want to be powerful, they can go be powerful on their own island. And it's unfortunate that they have gone on this long in the U.S. and they're being treated as if they're unstoppable when they are. They're very stoppable. But the government, listen, they're going to have to grow a spine and say this is enough of this dumb coat nonsense. It's so crazy. What they did to the government, including IRS employees during Operation Snow White, made them give in and give tax-free status. Yeah, they did. And it's unfortunate, man. It's crazy.
Scandals, serious allegations of abuse and trafficking, and just other horrible things. So with all the people who are, running in the Scientology building, I support it fully. I love the videos of people running into the—
I love it too.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Let me show you one other guy doing a similar reaction video and using it as an example to talk about other aspects of Scientology. Check this out.
People are breaking into the Church of Scientology and doing speed runs and seeing how far they can get.
This is something else.
Now, in this video, there's only 2 guys, but there are currently plans to get as many people as possible to do this speed run because they can't stop everybody at once. And this is what their churches look like. It's literally a department store. And because it's technically a church, they are tax exempt. And it's all very secretive. Even in this photo, you see that the windows are blocked off. And in that previous video, the boys had to sneak in. Like, you can't just go in and see what they're about. And for those reasons and many more, they are seen as a cult. And I didn't know about this, but this is like the big thing in Scientology. It's called the Bridge to Total Freedom. And there's all of these different levels and certificates that you can earn. And of course, because it's a money-making scheme, you have to pay money to go up to the next levels, which is why you'll see rich celebrities in the Church of Scientology, like John Travolta and Tom Cruise. So because they have the money and the means to increase their levels, their status within the church goes up. And did you guys know one of the main figures in Scientology is an alien? So they believe Xenu, this alien, brought billions of other aliens to Earth 75 million years ago on a spacecraft, and then killed all of the aliens with hydrogen bombs. And now today, these aliens adhere to humans, causing spiritual harm. So people are breaking into the church.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Now, here's the thing. The first reaction video, the first guy, I just showed you 2 guys. The first guy, he says some incorrect things about Scientology and the facility there. It doesn't matter. Who cares? The second guy, he talks about Xenu. When I was first out of Scientology, I might have been one of the first people to jump in and go, now, I think it's really important for people to understand that most Scientologists don't know about Xenu because you only learn about that on OT3. I don't give a shit anymore. Who gives a shit? Okay. My purpose in putting out so much content about Scientology onto the internet is to flood the zone with information about Scientology from ex-Scientologists, because that's the group that I'm a part of. That's what I can speak to. That's what I can offer. And that goal was really to counter. It was supposed to be juxtaposed to Scientology putting out a bunch of BS false propaganda on the internet into the hopes of recruiting people. So how do you counteract that?
Scientology been lying like hell for decades. What are we talking about? They've been lying and infiltrating going back to the 70s. Don't nobody owe them any pleasantry. Are you kidding me? That kid said the highest being in their cult is Xenu. The boy, girl, warrior, princess. Y'all, I need an AI photo of a Xenu. Oh, it's going to be epic. Can we get an AI photo of Xenu, the boy, girl, warrior, princess? Lord. Oh, that's going to be such a thumbnail. Oh, man. Somebody send me an AI photo of Xenu, the boy, girl, warrior, princess. That'll be our Scientology thumbnail.
Put true information from ex-Scientologists onto the internet as much as possible. I find non-Scientologists putting information about Scientology onto the internet that contributes to making Scientology the punchline of a joke, to mocking them. Turn Scientology into a joke. Doesn't matter if the information is technically accurate or emphasizes the right thing. Who gives a shit? Anything that goes out onto the internet that makes people less likely to join is valuable to me. Anything that makes people less afraid of Scientology, and I mean afraid of Scientology, and I instantly heard someone going, wait a second, if they're less afraid of Scientology, maybe they're more likely to join. I'm talking about being less afraid of going up against Scientology, being less afraid of speaking out against Scientology, confronting Scientology in the places where they are recruiting. Anything that contributes to this effort is valuable. And one of the things that I have seen, and also want to make a point. This Scientology recruitment center on Hollywood Boulevard and the phenomenon, the viral sensation of streamers and TikTokers and young folks going to that facility to punk and troll Scientology. This is a direct result of the person who started the live streaming Scientology protest movement. Scientology Audit. William Good, Streets LA. He's known by many, many names out there in Hollywood, but this is his YouTube channel, okay? William Good, Scientology Audit, started this phenomenon, okay? And between William Good and his partner in crime, Jessica Palmadessa, these guys have succeeded in turning the Scientology Recruitment Center on Hollywood Boulevard into a worldwide joke for the young generation. And it is absolutely incredible. I love every second of it. And, you know, I have seen, I've observed this interesting phenomenon of people trying to tell Scientology protesters or ex-Scientologists or just, you know, people who do this other type of kind of trolling memification type activism, trying to tell all of us what our goals and what our motivations should be. What is the only thing we should be doing that is valuable? And I want to comment on this a little bit because there's a journalist who has a pretty high profile, especially on X. Okay, and his name is Yashar Ali. And yesterday, after I retweeted one of these videos, just a few minutes after I retweeted one of these Scientology invasion videos, Yashar put up a post on X basically shitting on everyone who does these types of videos. And I want to show you what his perspective was. And I want to share with you what my perspective is on Yashar's perspective. Let's take a look at this real quick. So Yashar was responding to another person on TikTok who was saying she was obsessed with this trend of people seeing how far they can get inside of the Scientology facility. Okay, Yashar says, hello there. As one of Scientology's biggest targets, and as someone who has sacrificed a great deal to take on Scientology, I have to say that this is very unhelpful to the cause. I have also consulted with many former Scientologists who agree with me. This plays right into Scientology indoctrination that the outside world is a violent place that wishes to disrupt the dissemination of Scientology. It does nothing to stop the dissemination of Scientology and nothing to stop the abuses of Scientology. In fact, it helps keep them going. The goal is to convince Sea Org members. The goal, I think what he's saying here, the goal of the cause is to convince Sea Org members, Scientology's workforce who truly believe they are helping mankind, to leave and to speak to the authorities. This trend of raiding the Scientology facilities, this only keeps them in. I strongly disagree with what you're saying.
I strongly disagree as well. Because what you're basically saying is that people should just ignore them and let them be. What do you mean? They shouldn't be protested. They shouldn't be raided. They shouldn't be punked out and treated like the dumbass cult that they are. We should just ignore them, allow them to continue to do what they're doing behind everybody's back or in our faces. Infiltrate governments, get tax exempt status. If they don't do that, they create whole operations. So all of that is supposed to just be ignored. How else are you trying to take them down and invalidate them? Like, I think what the goal is to show people that all the BS that they do, no one should be walking around here fearful of them and their retaliation. Yes, they do what cults do. They dox people. They harass, they cyber target and bully. You know, they threaten people. That the part of the doxing is about that public shame and humiliation and inciting violence to have people come out and do harmful things to you because now they know where you live. They commit cyber crimes and they don't care about our U.S. laws. So when you don't have a regard for others' rights and protections, or for the laws that would keep us safe, you feel like doxing someone because they protested outside your dumb building is somehow warrant and legitimate. No, you should be rated. These kids should be going in there and spraying ketchup and mustard all over the walls too. Just make a whole mess of it. Take some silly string in there, some syrup, put some Clorox bleach and some water guns and just start squirting everybody. You know, all the things that were done when I was in high school. You remember those things that happened to you because those things were effective. Oh, man. Go into high school with bleach and water guns. And then you come back from Christmas break and you got on your brand new clothes and shoes and all the good things you got for Christmas. And come to realize you can't wear this stuff because you got to worry about, you know, these stunkhead kids coming to school with water guns filled with bleach. And they gonna tear your Christmas clothes up. Why these Scientology cult members can't do that when they sitting here telling people that they're violating laws and committing misdemeanors, and that person is not legally qualified to do that? He's not a cop or an attorney or a judge or anything. Yeah, that's when you spray his ass down with some Clorox bleach. What'd you say? All right, say that again. Oh, I'm doing a misdemeanor. Okay. And then next thing you know, he opened the door and then he just getting hit with that Clorox bleach. Y'all, oh Lord. This is like saying we're going to ignore any other cult that exists and let them do whatever they want. What do you mean? What do you mean? No, they need to go. They need to go. Jim Jones felt that it was best for him to leave the country, the continent of North America. He went to South America, people. He went to an entirely different continent and had his cult there. The only thing I hate is that he took innocent kids and babies with him and took them out. It was horrible. But he could have left. And his white family, these girlfriends, these other women that was all over him, they grown. They want to follow him to the ends of the earth. I don't think there was anything anybody could do to stop that, because it's easier to have people fooled, I guess, to believe that they're brainwashed, that they're not a cult, than it is to convince them that they are. It's the same thing we see with Candace Owens. The candy asses are so brainwashed, they believe that she's God. They believe that she's holy, that she's intelligent, and that somehow her not knowing the freezing point of water does not matter because reasons. It's a basic science, matter of science. It's a fundamental fact. She doesn't know the freezing point of water. And these people think that she's God Almighty. I'm going to call it out every single time I do a live stream about her. She's not. She's a dumbass cult leader. Just like Umar the Oompa Loompa Johnson. Cult leaders. They have this huge following. And for what? And these people think they can't do anything wrong. But all they're trying to do is control how you think, what you say, and they want all your money. Candice is one that she doesn't ask for money, but she doesn't say, don't give me money, I'm a millionaire. Y'all don't have to give me cash apps. Y'all don't have to give me supers. It's cool. No, she still takes their money. Everything she's doing is in the name of making money. She's not like Umar where he just begs to hit the cash app and the PayPal. But she's going to take your money and spend it. And that's the same thing this cult leader does. How you charge somebody for an audit conducted by a child? What are we learning here? What are we doing? Why are you charging people for that? What are they paying for? But as opposed to him just saying, you know what? Just give me the money. Because all this other stuff is fluff. Just give me money and that's it. No, we're going to charge you for this auditing thing that's going to be done by an 8-year-old. And then you got to keep paying it until we feel better. Get the hell out of here. You want our U.S. dollars, but you want to ignore our U.S. laws. All the protections that we all have as U.S. citizens. You want to overlook that and try to control people. Get your ass out of our country. Child, you can't make this up. This has been as far as the traction, oh man, running through these buildings, their facilities, people get to see what it's like on the inside, what they do, what they're all about, their intimidation tactics. You can learn a lot by watching this. You clearly see that these people are not licensed attorneys or law enforcement or anything, but yet they think that they could just tell somebody they're committing a crime. Laughable. Now I'm gonna let a judge in a court of law tell me that. You don't get to tell me that. That, it's laughable at this point. They're clowns. And you got somebody saying, oh no, let's just ignore them. Don't give them attention. You're validating them. No, the IRS validated them when they gave them a tax exempt status. What are we talking about? This is a dumbass cult that needs to go down. Or they can voluntarily leave and get the hell on and leave us alone. But ignoring them only allows them to have nothing but time and opportunity to do whatever it is they're doing unchecked with no oversight. Are you kidding? Let these kids go in and raid in these buildings. Chabu.
Says here. And, at the same time, just because I feel a particular way about it, doesn't mean that's the only way to feel. But I do take a certain amount of offense to someone who's never been in Scientology, telling people like myself, who spent their entire lives practically working as child slave for the human trafficking cult, who has myself escaped from Scientology. So I'm an ex-Scientologist, ex-Sea Org member, ex-child trafficking victim of the cult, who runs a platform, this channel here, dedicated to exposing Scientology, who also runs a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping people escape from Scientology. Yashar, it's not lost on me that you tweeted your tweet minutes after you saw me retweet one of these accounts. I do take great offense to someone in your position telling someone in my position what I should be doing, how I should be doing it, and what my goals should be. So I would say that my activism takes three different shapes, three different forms. There's the videos that I put out here on my channel, all sorts of videos on all sorts of topics about Scientology for the general public. There's my protesting videos, specifically live stream protests every Friday evening in downtown Clearwater. And there's the SPTV Foundation that exists specifically to help people who are escaping from Scientology. I'll give you an example of these are three distinct worlds, and there's some overlap, but they also don't have, the overlap is not absolute, and for a reason. For example, just because I run a foundation that helps people that leave Scientology doesn't mean the only thing I should be trying to accomplish in my protesting is to convince people to leave Scientology. In the history of anti-Scientology activism and protesting, no Scientologist, public staff member, or Sea Org member has ever been convinced to leave Scientology due to a protester and anything they did or said during a protest. So to tell Scientology protesters that the only thing they should be trying to do is to help Scientologists escape is foolish. It's pretty arrogant, and it's just false. Okay, when I'm protesting Scientology, I'm calling attention to the destruction of the destructive policies and practices of Scientology. I'm showing Scientology I am not afraid of you. We are essentially mocking and trolling and punking Scientology and showing people you can stand up to these folks. It's okay. There's no reason to be afraid. To say that the only way to protest is to try and help the people who are perpetuating the abuse in Scientology to leave is insane. Yashar, I know, the whole issue in Iran is near and dear to your heart because you are Iranian, you are Persian. Could you imagine telling people protesting in Iran that the only thing they should ever be trying to do is to convince members of the IRGC to leave and blow the whistle against the regime? Like, it's madness. And I'm sure you might be offended by me equating Scientology protests with, protesters in Iran. But to me, it's kind of the same thing. Protesting Scientology is bringing attention of the world to the abuses of the organization. That is a distinct activity from convincing people to leave the organization, which, by the way, is impossible. And that is also a distinct activity from helping people leave the organization who have already made that decision for themselves, okay? And I'm honestly sick and tired of people telling Scientology protesters how they should protest. Now, are there forms of protesting that I personally wouldn't want to associate with? Sure. People who just curse at Scientologists and scream at them and insult them, I don't find it tasteful. I wouldn't want to be associated with it. But to say that protesting the wrong way convinces Sea Org members to continue to be Sea Org members is just false. It's just false. Let me respond to some specific sentences in this tweet. Okay, this type of, I'm going to paraphrase, and Yashar says, this type of protesting plays right into Scientology indoctrination, that the outside world is a violent place that wishes to disrupt the dissemination of Scientology. If Scientology thought the world was just a giant violent place opposed to Scientology, they wouldn't be out there trying to recruit people on the sidewalks of Hollywood. Okay. Yeah. L. Ron Hubbard just, there's a lot of conditioning in Scientology that the WOG world, that's what Scientologists call the world outside of Scientology. The WOG world is infiltrated and run by the psychiatrists and big pharma and the evil alien psychiatrists. But you have to understand, Scientology also wants to recruit every single human being on earth into Scientology. Scientologists are not afraid of the real world. Now, there's anecdotes that you would have heard from certain Scientologists who grew up in a certain way that might give you the opposite opinion. Let's take Jenna Miscavage, for example. Jenna Miscavage was essentially born into the Sea Org. She also spent her life living and working on Sea Org bases that did not recruit people into Scientology. That's not why they were there. Because of Jenna's experience, she spent the vast majority of her life actually being afraid of the outside world because she didn't work in these lower level organizations that are there to recruit people. This test center on Hollywood Boulevard and that Sea Org member, Joe Riley, they work specifically in organizations whose sole purpose is to recruit non-Scientologists into Scientology. Joe Riley is not afraid of the outside world, okay? Going into the recruitment center and all those other Sea Org members that work at that test center, that is a recruitment center for brand new Scientologists. Those people are not afraid of the world. If they were, they wouldn't be out there doing that job. Okay. So Yashar says this plays right into the indoctrination that the outside world is a violent place that wishes to disrupt the dissemination of Scientology. It does nothing to stop the dissemination of Scientology and nothing to stop the abuses of Scientology. I completely disagree. This type of activism does cause Scientology to shut the doors of the test center. Any minute, any hour, any day that the doors of that test center are shut is time Scientology has been blocked in its effort to recruit brand new people into Scientology. That's one of the reasons I love, that's one of the main reasons I love this type of activism so much. Again, as long as you're not putting yourself into danger of being arrested, this is amazing activism. This does nothing to stop the abuses of Scientology. I have got news for you, Yashar. There is literally no form of Scientology activism that stops the abuses in Scientology, okay? Scientology has religious recognition from the federal government. It is not against the law to practice Scientology, even the abusive parts. I wish people would stop, certain people, I'm not generalizing, would stop sitting around and wringing their hands and crying that the federal government hasn't done enough to stop the abuses of Scientology. Scientology will eventually be prosecuted for its violations, many violations, state and federal violations of various child abuse and neglect reporting acts, okay? Ex-Scientologists like myself and many others can do everything in their power to continue to expose Scientology's violations of the various child abuse and neglect reporting acts. But it's not within our power to get Scientology prosecuted. That power and that decision falls in the hand of many state, county, state, and federal law enforcement officials and police agencies, okay? We can only do what we can do, all right? And what kills me is to see the same people who will cry that the federal government isn't doing enough also try to shame these types of non-Scientologists from doing what they can, how they can, where they can to turn Scientology into a joke, to turn Scientology into a meme, to spread this content virally that really does effectively make people less likely to join Scientology. Listen, if you're in this younger generation and Scientology is one of the biggest jokes on the internet, you are so much less likely to ever be convinced to join Scientology. So I think the people who run around crying, like the woman Yashar Ali works for, Leah Remini, crying that the federal government isn't doing enough, I would like to see those people not shame the young generation helping to turn Scientology into a joke and a meme on the internet. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to cry that the federal government isn't doing anything, then at least give some credit to the younger generation who is actually trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? And, you know,
Ron. Oh, we love you. He is on point. And this is coming from someone who was in Scientology. What he's saying is what happens when you don't speak up, when you don't bring awareness, even when it comes down to the mockery of it. When you don't do that, it continues to thrive. It doesn't stop it from being a cult. It didn't stop them from getting this tax exempt status from the IRS, carrying out whole operations until they got it, bullying their way into our society. It didn't stop them. And that's what his point is. Saying don't do this and don't do that is not going to stop it from operating as an evil cult that is trafficking children, that have children conducting auditing sessions with grown-ass men by themselves. It didn't stop that from happening at all. How do you say that these kids should not have a childhood and they should be sitting here across from grown men telling them if they mess something up? And then you got these grown men sitting across the table from these 8, 9-year-old little girls that they're seeing as their equal, looking at as grown women in small bodies. And there's nothing but time and opportunity for them to take advantage of these kids. How do you say, well, that's going to stop if you don't run through their building? Get the F out of here. What are we talking about? That's his point. It doesn't stop them from conducting themselves like an evil cult that they are. All the things that go on that do not get shown on camera when you run it through the building. You're not going to run into an auditing session. I wish they would. What's the chances of you running into an auditing session, speed running through this building where you got a kid that's almost about to get toppled by some grown man in an auditing session. But let's imagine if that did happen. They did run into a room where they see this happen. They can save this little girl from this grown-ass man that thinks that she's just a small human being, a small adult in a child body. There are a whole lot of things that could probably be put down if they know people are going to run through here recording it and going to catch things on camera. Let that shit happen. Because whatever Scientology is not saying will be recorded and live streamed while these kids running through this building. Let that happen. It might save somebody's life. You never know. Let that shit happen. Let that shit happen. Let these kids run through that. Hopefully this happens a lot more. And if there's only 20,000 people left worldwide in Scientology, there are more of us than there are of them. I don't care what they've infiltrated or anything. We have armies. We have navies. We have armed forces. We've seen compounds get taken out. And when I say taken out, I mean taken out. Should the people have been pulled out of it? Yes. They had children in that compound. But the buildings themselves, whatever their symbol is, whatever they think is home, take it out. Because they don't want Clearwater to thrive either way. They don't want anyone else to have a home or business. They will not be able to match our armed forces. And if it takes that to take them down, then they need to do that. And if David Miscavage doesn't like it, he can leave our country and leave us be and take his ass on somewhere. Go buy his own island and start his own country somewhere else across the other side of the planet. Hell, he can leave the planet itself if he won't. He can get Elon Musk, give him a spaceship, skyrocket your ass off of Earth, go to Mars, and do whatever you're going to do over there. Good luck to that. Somebody alert Space Force. Take all these cult leaders with you. Hell. He's saying, let these kids do this. You never know what type of light they're going to shed on what might be happening in real time that needs to have light shed on it. I wish they can run into a room and have some child auditing some grown man and they're able to save that child's life in real time. That would be awesome to see that. Because that's what's going on behind closed doors. And ignoring it does nothing. It doesn't stop anything from happening. So I am so glad Aaron is saying this. I'm glad that he's taking a stand on this and that he's speaking out along with Jenna Miscavage, because she'll say it in a minute. My uncle's a cult leader. Child, you can take Candace with him, Susan Q. Take Candace, Umar Johnson. Child, we can give a whole list of names he can take with his ass. David Miscavige, you can leave Earth, go to Mars, start your dumb cult there. Don't have to worry about tax exempt anything. Create your own currency and take Umar Johnson and Candace Owens with you. Goodbye. Oh, and John Mappin. Don't forget John Mappin. Take his ass.
In fact, I just there's a common thread here that I can't help, that I can't really help but notice, and that is,
yeah, hit the like button. We're almost done.
This? Well, let me just show you this video, and then we'll talk about it.
Do you know who Will is? Streets LA?
Tori, I'm sorry. I'm not interested in that guy. I don't like the way he treated my friends. I'm sorry. You know what, Tori? We can talk about it off air.
I like him. Who is he treating bad?
What did I just say, Tori?
Pardon me?
I said I'll talk to you about it off air.
Hi guys, how you doing, my favorite? Hey, no, don't close the door. Don't close the door. That's so rude. I have questions. Twilla. You're trying to escape. Why don't you just be honest and tell the people, hey, you want to join Scientology? Instead, you have them go through the stress test. That e-meter right there, it's just a lie detector test. How are you doing? I have some questions. Why are you running? I have questions about Scientology. I have questions about Scientology. Why you run like that? I can't believe that. That's so rude.
That's so weird.
Do you know who Will is? Streets LA.
Okay, so what is this clip about, and what does it relate to everything else we're talking about? So Tony Ortega is a blogger who, for the last 10 years or so, has written one story every single day about Scientology, and in certain times, he's been very effective in breaking news stories about Scientology. Streets LA, William Good, Scientology Audit, over the last 2 years, has been one of the biggest news items in the world of Scientology for basically everything he's done to shut down the Scientology Recruitment Center on Hollywood Boulevard.
Crazy.
William
This is
basically launched a worldwide Scientology live stream protest movement. Tony Ortega has never written a single word about the guy, a single article about the guy. And the reason I'm showing you this video is because Tony explains why he hasn't. He doesn't like him because Tony feels William has been mean to Tony's friends. What friend is Tony talking about? He's talking about Leah Remini. Okay. William Good and Leah Remini had a little bit of a tiff on Twitter because of some derogatory thing Leah Remini basically said about protesters or something like this. You guys can fact check me on that.
What?
When you have Tony throwing shade at William and this type of activism, William's not the one running into the buildings. Don't get me wrong. When you have Tony throwing shade at this guy for the only reason that he doesn't like him because Leah Remini doesn't like him, I can't help but see the common thread between Yashar, who works for Leah Remini, or last I knew is Leah was paying Yashar to be her social media manager. Yashar going out of his way to throw shade at people who are shutting down the Hollywood Test Center, an activity that was basically spearheaded by Streets LA, Scientology Audit, William Good, for what I believe to be the exact same reason. Yashar doesn't like William because Leah Remini doesn't like William. She sees this type of activism, this type of protest as beneath her. Just like she sees
Leah Remini, I'm gonna need you to get the hell over it, girl. Get your ass over it. Get over it. Everybody is not in a position to protest like you. Whatever you're doing to protest and however you do it, no one's knocking it. We gave her a standing ovation for filing a missing report on David Miscavage's wife. We gave her a standing ovation on that. That was a bold move to file a missing persons report on the wife of David Miscavige, to whom most people haven't seen still since, what, 20, 25 years ago? 30 years ago? Maybe even more. So that was awesome of her. She one of those high profile. She was able to pull that off and file a missing persons report. Everybody can't protest in that way. Some people are on the street, boot on the ground, boots on the ground in real time. And it's okay. It is what it is. Don't get upset when there are others out here who have to protest the way they do. As long as the goal is to bring them down. To remind this cult that they're not bigger than the United States of America. We're not stun their ass, and we would take them down if we need to by force. All they want is a tax-exempt status. They don't even have to deal with our money. They can get the hell on and go deal with a different currency. For some reason, David Miscavige wants to deal with U.S. dollars. Why not go deal with Mexican pesos? Get your ass out of here. Like, are you kidding me? But that has to be the most childish thing ever. I don't like this person, so you can't like them either. Gab, you don't grow the hell up. We're not doing this.
YouTubers as beneath her.
Child.
Don't want to sit with those folks. So I don't want to belabor that point.
Yeah,
Because the point is really to highlight this unbelievably viral trend of raiding Scientology facilities. This has happened in Clearwater, although I didn't pull up those videos. Tommy G and many other people have done the same thing in Clearwater. It's easier to do this in Clearwater and Los Angeles than other cities, or at least it seems like it has been up to this point. But it would be really interesting. It would be really interesting and fun to see this trend done in other cities where there are Scientology organizations. And as long as it's done in a way that doesn't violate local laws, it's something I will completely support and even help promote if I can. All right, let's look at some starred comments and we'll wrap this up. Donna B just jumped over to watch Jenna. That's some good news. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, Donna. I skipped one. Okay, VP. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day or night. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Like and subscribe, share, and make sure to eat your milk. All right, VP, you're being silly. All right, Abigail. Osa must be panicking seeing the title of this video. How are they going to explain this to their leader without him going berserk? Okay, this is Asalem is awesome. Okay, it shows how empty those buildings really are. Sharona, not to sound like a creepy older lady, but pink really suits you, Aaron. Thank you very much. Claire Gray, that Scientologist trying to do a dive takedown is hilarious. Old Frizz, gotta love a bit of chaos, and it breaks the day up for the Scientologists that work there. It must be so boring. William, Old Frizz, They will be telling stories for years. Ricky Glazer, good to see you, man. OMG, is Aaron Cairo okay? Yeah, it would be actually funny to see people raiding the organization in San Francisco looking for Aaron Cairo. Is Aaron Cairo here? Is Aaron Cairo here? I want to buy some skateboards. Okay, the team of Wildfell Hall. There's another angle that shows the guy who made it even further. He entered into something that looked like a classroom, and it was blurred, maybe to protect people's privacy. I don't know. I'm guessing you are correct. If he made it, there's a course room back there for the introductory courses that they convince people to sign up for. And I'm guessing he blurred those faces so he didn't get privacy struck. It's Mike's YouTube channel. There is no wrong way to mock and troll. You know, I'm gonna let's leave the. Okay, I want to call out something I probably would have said before. Well, okay, here's my thoughts. There are absolutely, yes, let's leave that one there. I'm gonna bring it back up. I remember when I first started on YouTube, I absolutely called out the angry gay Pope for being a horrible Scientology protester. And I want to comment on that because some people might see it as hypocrisy.
Oh, he better go into a Pope stuff. So I'm gonna end it there. Because I just wanted to get the part in where he goes over the videos of the rating. Oh man, that is not like that. It was my first time seeing them videos. We're gonna have to watch more of that. These kids are getting bold. They don't care. And listen, they shouldn't. It's a cult. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. Now that I've seen what this Scientology raid thing was all about, I am here for it. Oh, Leah Remini, girl, you got to stop being mad at everybody, honey. You can say people beneath you all day. It doesn't change the fact that Scientology is still sitting here trying to recruit people. So, why don't you send some funding to help people do things in, more sophisticated ways if you don't like it? I don't know what else to tell them. I have nothing against Leah Remini. But don't be snooty booty either, girl. We ain't got time for the snooty booty. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We got another live coming up soon. I appreciate all of you all and your support. Make sure you guys check out the post. Let me know if you want me to go over Candice's video she did on Donald Trump. Oh, Lord have mercy. Calling people names and stuff. Candice, you're so dumb, girl. But I appreciate this. Y'all, Scientology Sunday is fun, okay? And I am so happy you guys are going on this journey with me as we expose this cult and all these many other cults that are out here with a lot of cult leaders in a lot of sectors. And we're here to expose it. Cults are stupid and dumb and controlling, and lots of evil, horrible things happen. And they should not be allowed to get away with it. So, y'all will be back at it again next week for Scientology Sunday, getting in more interviews and more of these raids, hopefully, of people who have left this cult and have made it out. And the best way to do this is to work together. So, Leah Remini, girl, you better get over it. Got to get over it, girl. Work with some of these people so you can help protest and take them down. All right? Y'all be good. Hit that like button on the way out. I appreciate all of you. Make sure you hype the videos. Hype the videos. Hit the like button. Hype the videos. I appreciate your feedback. All of you guys. Information to share. I hope our LLC baby is doing well. How that facility in LA was shown that closed their doors because of that guy. Miss Kim in Austin is a personal friend. Protests all by herself. There you go. There are people out here protesting everywhere. We need to support the efforts of it because a cult is a cult is a cult, and they should not be allowed to thrive in the United States of America. Goes against our values and our freedoms and protections, and no one deserves the treatment that this cult is rendering. All these other cults, especially towards kids. It's so disgusting. Y'all be good, and I will see you all next week again. Lady Luck Club saying deuces.